Hey, what's up guys? It is Rob. Welcome to day 6 of my Christmas movie challenge. I'm having a blast doing these. I just want to thank Julie Cassidy over there at Let's Talk Movies for this idea. It's a lot of fun going over all these Christmas films. But today is kind of a no-brainer. I bet you guys predicted that I would probably pick this movie since I did the first one already. But I can't help it. I think this is one of the greatest sequels when it comes to like comedy films or Christmas films, or even sequels in general. You know, you have sequels that don't hardly get mentioned or are not on par as much as the first one. Jaws. You know, Jaws 2 is not as good as Jaws 1. Ghostbusters 2 is not as good as Ghostbusters 1, even though I happen to really like Ghostbusters 2. Rocky 2, you know, really great sequels out there, and I believe this falls in that category. So we're going to talk about Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. So we got a subtitle this time. I always love this cover. You know, the wet bandits escape. There they are behind the building, tall building, you know, representing New York. What I like about this sequel is that it's different, but it follows the same type of formula. And I'll get to that in this review. It's a 1992 American comedy film written and produced by John Hughes and directed by Chris Columbus once again. And see, this is how sequels work. This is how you do it. You bring back the original writers, producers, directors, cast. It's very important. So it's the sequel. Stars Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, John Hurd, Tim Curry is a newcomer, Catherine O'Hara, you got Brenda Fricker. Basically the original family. Buzz, Kevin's sisters and brothers, so all of them. And this time, they're going on a trip to Florida. So how can Kevin get lost, or at least be home alone again? How are they going to do it? Because you think they would have learned the first time. That's why I'm glad they changed it up here. It's just an honest mistake that happens, and it could happen to anybody. But you have Kevin, played by Macaulay Culkin. He's 10 years old this time. 10 years old. He was 8 in Home Alone 1. He must fend off the two burglars once again, Harry and Marv, played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, after he's mistakenly separated from his family on their Christmas vacation. So this time, I like how they poke fun at it. You know, they're all at the house, the same house, by the way, and they're going to take a trip to Florida for Christmas. They, you know, get to the airport, and Kevin gets on the wrong flight. But it's just a simple mistake. He's trying to get batteries for his Talkboy thing that he has, and he stops while the whole family is running to the gate. And when he stops, he gets the batteries and he looks up, and in front of him, he thinks it's his dad, but there's a guy who has the same exact coat, or a coat like his dad has on. So he follows that guy thinking it's his dad, and he gets, you know, he gets on the wrong plane. And when he gets on the flight, he doesn't even realize it because he's in a seat by himself until he gets out of the gate and realizes none of his family comes off the plane, so he's alone. He realizes what city he's in, and it's not Florida. He's not in the state of Florida. He's in New York City. And I think Ali Sheedy actually has a part in this, or a cameo. She plays one of the airline hostesses, or the clerk. So what city is that over there? That's New York, sir. I like that. I like how it's not really Home Alone, but yet it's lost. He's lost. He's not home alone. He is alone, but he's lost in a big city. So it's kind of a game changer. Instead of, you know, surviving in his house, he's got to survive one of the biggest cities in the world. being alone. And at the same time, you have Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern reprise a role as Marv and Harry, who break out of jail and they're on the run and they're in New York City. So this is going on at the same time. And they happen to bump into Kevin, and all hell breaks loose from there. It's like Kevin, like I said, they have the same kind of formula where they're after Kevin and they don't expect him to have a plan or set up traps or anything, but that's not even the case. In this movie, he goes even harder than he did in the first movie as far as setting up traps. And a lot of the stuff that happens to him, you would think, well, that's way too over the top. They would have died because of some of the traps that happen. But it's funny. I mean, the fact that they fall for it again, but like I said, they're not really expecting it since he's lost in a city and he's not at his house. So I love that change. So the filming took place from December 1991 to May 1992 in Chicago and New York City, including the Rockefeller Center, the original World Trade Center, which is crazy to see in the movie. I mean, Kevin, he walks up to the World Trade Center, and then he's on top of the World Trade Center. He's basically on the roof. And there's this really cool faraway shot where it's almost like a drone shot, it seems like, or a helicopter shot where the camera flies away from the World Trade Center and Kevin's up there all by himself looking out. It's just weird to see that since, it's not there anymore. But yeah, some really cool places that they actually filmed. Now, this movie made money. It had a budget of $28 million and made $359 at the box office. John Williams once again did the music. I love the music to this movie just as much as I did the first movie. The addition of Tim Curry as Mr. Hector, the concierge of the Plaza Hotel, was one of the greatest things ever. Oh, of course not. Will he be down soon? Oh, have a lovely day. I love Tim Curry, man. He is just, he's so good. Rob Schneider, he plays Cedric. Brenda Fricker, who plays the Pigeon Lady. Eddie Bracken, who plays Mr. Duncan, who was also in National Lampoon's Vacation. Donald Trump makes a freaking appearance. Oh, yippity-doo-dah. Macaulay Culkin was paid $4.5 million to appear in the sequel, and he only made $110,000 in the original. That's quite a leap. That's a lot there. I mean, the production budget was $28 million, and he got $4.5 million to appear. That's crazy. But the same house appears in this movie, like I said, but the O'Hare International Airport in Chicago, which I have been to many times, that's where they filmed the airport scene, of course, and then of course New York City. But yeah, Donald Trump requested a cameo in exchange for allowing the film to, the crew to shoot scenes in the Plaza Hotel lobby. It's whatever. It's like, who cares? Donald Trump. It's like whatever. This movie has a huge score and soundtrack. There's a lot of good songs. All Alone on Christmas by Darlene Love was a great song. I really like that one. A lot of great Christmas songs in general, but this movie has heart. Especially with the Pigeon Lady stuff, like you really feel sorry for that character, and Kevin kind of does too. But at the same time, she kind of feels sorry for him because of what he's going through. And I don't know. I like the adventure. He basically turns it into adventure, but then he starts to miss his family. I mean, he goes around New York. He goes to the toy store. He rents a limo. He gets a room all by himself, which was really cool. Like he orders room service. He just goes around New York whenever he wants and does whatever he wants. I like how this introduced the Talkboy cassette recorder by Tiger Electronics, which basically, you know, you talk into and it records your voice, and then you can play it back in different speeds and stuff like that. I remember that thing. I always wanted one, and I know they had one in the stores, but I never got to get one. But yeah, this movie, I mean, it was pretty, you know, I want to say it was pretty positive. People did like it. Like I said, they thought it was kind of different, but yet sticking with the same formula. It was kind of a game changer in that way. But I just like how they brought everybody back. You know, and when the Wet Bandits escape, it's like Kevin has to go at them once again in a big city. So I like that change. It's just an overall great movie. The comedy's fun. It's just you know, very well written, and you know, like I said, it's like an adventure turning into kind of like survival. Like Kevin's got to figure out a way to get rid of these the robbers, and at the same time try to you know, get his family back. So I just like it a lot, and it's just one of those sequels that's very well done. I can't say the same for the third movie, which it shouldn't have even been made, but yeah, this is definitely a good one. I actually have 2 DVD copies here. This one has the newest cover that's out right now. I believe the Blu-ray has that one too, but this is the original DVD, and then of course I have the VHS here. And I also have the Blu-ray. I don't know why I have so many copies of this film, but anyway, yeah, Home Alone 2: Lost in New York, great sequel, and that is my pick for day 6. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, this is all going to be random. I just had to mention this because it is a Christmas movie that I do like watching next to the first movie. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching this, and I'll see you in day 7.